Janet.
And I'm Richard. Welcome to Within the Frame.
And so let's start off with some AZ entertainment news. So the first bit is with someone that we've already have on our show before, Sean Dillingham.
Yep, Sean Dillingham was on the season finale of the emotional, critically acclaimed NBC show This Is Us. And guys, you should be watching This Is Us. I know I should be watching it. I'm not, but I should. But I've heard great things about it. I've heard it's basically just like the most emotional hour on television ever. So
and you gotta love to see AZ talent there.
Exactly. He's been on two this season between on Fox with Brooklyn Nine-Nine and this. So Sean, good for you. And if you guys want to see it, watch it. You can catch up on This Is Us on Hulu, I believe. Yeah, that's it. Hulu.
Yeah. All right. So next bit of AZ news: the Phoenix Film Festival is coming in April. And there are 3 AZ local films. One that we've already talked about, The Dutchman, and my documentary, which we already talked about a lot, The Man Behind the Suit, and then another film that we haven't talked about before, I'm Perfect.
Yep, and we have it. That actually transitions perfectly into our trailer discussion because they got a trailer for it.
We just saw the trailer for I'm Perfect, and I honestly thought it was really good. I'm really interested in it.
Yeah, I was really caught. I was like, this looks like this doesn't look like anything I've seen normally coming out of AZ. So it looks like
I'm honestly thoroughly impressed. And the story seems so interesting. Basically, if I understand it correctly, the story is about a girl that's a little different than the rest because everyone is basically genetically created.
Yeah, that's what I got from the trailer. It was
through like DNA.
We literally just saw the trailer before we came on. It was kind of a last minute edition, so we got like.
I'm sure there's a better log line out there.
We'll find it and link it to you guys.
But it looks cool. Like it's definitely in the future. And I saw some AZ talent that I've worked with before, so I'm really happy for them. And I think it's like a sci-fi thriller. Would you say that? Or sci-fi drama?
I would say sci-fi drama. Like maybe a little bit of a thriller, but like I got more like a dramatic, emotional thing from it.
So that's going to be screening along with the other 2 films at Phoenix Film Festival, and we'll link the schedule so you guys can check them out and support AZ talent.
Yeah, and we'll keep you guys posted about everything else coming out of the AZ Film Festival because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, so moving on to other trailers. Baby Driver. I just saw this one. I have no idea, like, I've never heard of Baby Driver. Is this a thing?
Has it
been a franchise
no,
before?
It's an original movie from Edgar Wright, who did, like, Scott Pilgrim and Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead. This was, like, the movie he did after he, like, left Ant-Man. He basically put himself into this movie.
That's cool. So, if you guys haven't seen the trailer, which I don't think this has gotten, like, big exposure. Honestly, I haven't seen this anywhere on my timeline, or like it hasn't popped up on my YouTube or anything like that.
I mean, I shared it, but you obviously didn't watch it.
I don't watch anything you share. No, so Baby Driver, check out the trailer. It's basically this guy his name is Baby, and he's a driver for basically assassins and like criminals.
Yeah, criminals.
So
it's almost like Edgar Wright is making his version of like Reservoir Dogs meets Drive. It's not because it's like it really has obviously a lot of surface level similarities to Drive, but it's like through his lens, which is a lot more fun and popish.
Yeah.
And it's a musical also, apparently. Like
really?
Yeah, like because it premiered at South by Southwest, and the reviews coming out of it were great. They loved it, but they said it's a musical also, which you don't get from the trailer.
No.
And I have a friend who theorized that they think they're going to do the musical because he listens to music a lot, that he's going to perceive people singing like that's how he perceives reality.
That's funny.
I'm so excited. I don't think a musical action movie has ever been done before.
No.
Like a hardcore musical action movie.
Unless you consider action like dancing.
I mean, that's some pretty good action. So Baby Driver will be coming out in August, I believe, is the release date. So we'll keep you guys posted on that. I'm personally super excited for it.
Yeah.
And the other movie that came out of South by Southwest is Atomic Blonde. This trailer we actually dropped right before our show last week, so we didn't have time to review it, but we can now review it. And it's from the director of John Wick, one of the directors of John Wick, who's currently set to do Deadpool 2. And I thought it was pretty awesome.
It reminded me of John Wick.
It was so
like
awesome.
The female version of John Wick. Basically, the trailer is this blonde woman kicking ass.
Played by Charlize Theron, and kind of like Keanu Reeves, they kind of carry the weight of an action star with them.
Yeah.
Because everyone now remembers her as like Furiosa, and she's going to be the new Fast and Furious movie. So I don't know when Charlize Theron became an action star, but I'm kind of happy that she is.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a cheat though, using any Queen song in a trailer, because you're just going to be automatically awesome.
Well, like, I just felt, it just reminded me of Suicide Squad. I'm like, oh.
Just because of Queen.
Yes, just because of, and the title at the end, the way it was like, kind of light beaming
Neon lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's...
So,
what were you going to say?
it just reminded me of Suicide Squad because of those two reasons.
Yeah, it's got, obviously, this very action movie. It looks a lot like John Wick, so if you like John Wick, you'll probably like this.
Yeah.
It's a little...
Unless you're, like, a woman hater.
Yeah, those people tend to... It's funny that those people probably won't like it.
And those people popped up in the next trailer we'll talk about.
Yes, Transformers, The Last Night.
Yeah.
Man, this trailer got it.
I watched it and I'm like, okay, it's cool. And then I, like, skipped over and I saw all the comments and... Like, what is wrong with people? They were like, oh my god, this is just another feminist agenda movie. They're just trying to brainwash our kids.
Which,
I'm like...
Guys, if that's your problem with the Transformers movie, then you got some problems. Because these movies have sucked beforehand. And this is probably the best part of these movies. This is probably, like, the best thing these movies have done since, like, 2007.
Yeah, they're trying to brainwash girls to, like being girls.
Which, you know what? Like, honestly, I didn't like the trailer, but I liked that part of the trailer. Like, the rest of the trailer was, like, garbage. It's weirdly edited, but I liked that part of the trailer because I was like, okay, it's amazing that 5 films into a movie based off of a toy line aimed at kids, that this is our first kid protagonist.
Yeah.
It's been high school kids and kids in college and grown men. Like, let's be real here, guys. I feel like Woody and Toy Story. You're a child's plaything.
Oh yeah, when the opening scene of the trailer started and I saw all those kids, I was like, what movie is this? And then I saw a Transformer. I'm like, oh,
yeah, and
that's so different.
Which it should not be different. This should have been the first movie.
Yeah.
And as for
the original Transformers was Super 8.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Transformers should have been.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the idea of it being a little girl because okay, any little boy in the world is gonna go see Transformers just because it's got robots. And that turn into cars and dinosaurs.
Actors that are like them.
Yeah, and now you open up a whole new demographic for yourself. Like if you're making Transformers toys and movies, wouldn't it be smart to try to get to everyone, appeal to everybody? And I think it's a good idea because again, little boys are gonna go see it no matter what. You maybe open up a new fan base for little girls, and it's a win-win. Also, a young Latina actress, that's really good. And that I will say though, why? Mark Wahlberg, did you have to call her little J-Lo in the trailer?
Oh my god, I didn't hear
catch that? I was like, you make 2 baby steps forward and then just a bunch of giant steps back.
Yeah, because apparently that's the only Latina in Hollywood right now.
Apparently. And you know what's funny? I want to point out that between this Transformers trailer and Pirates of the Caribbean trailer, I did not realize how impactful Logan would be. Because, think about it, Logan, you had a Johnny Cash song in the trailer, and then Pirates used a Johnny Cash song in their trailer for the Super Bowl spot, and now this one, a lot of Logan's marketing was focused on the little girl, and now this one is well, guys, we gotta be Logan. I just thought that was an interesting thing that Logan has started a weird new trend among movies.
That's interesting. I don't know how impactful though those things have been for each other because I feel like a lot of the times these are edited way in advance.
Yeah. Well, the Pirates trailer, I'm pretty confident because that was a few months after the Logan trailer dropped, so I'm pretty confident that was definitely guys, we need a Johnny Cash song right away.
Yeah.
But you're right. This one is just obviously me making connections that aren't really there. But let's move on to another trailer, Coco, the new Pixar trailer.
Coco. Speaking of little J-Los.
See, you can say that and it's not offensive.
I liked it. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are raging over it and just super excited. And I just think it's cute and I want to see it, but I'm not mind blown by it.
You're not jumping out of your seat waiting for it?
No.
I liked it. I think a big reason people are liking it is because it's obviously Pixar and everyone loves a good Pixar trailer, and also because they have in recent years not made as much original content as they used to. Obviously, they've done sequels, and we like their sequels for the most part. I mean, and no one likes Cars 2 except me for some reason. But I think people even were kind of burned out by Monsters University and Finding Dory. Even if you liked Finding Dory, which I did.
I don't think anyone was angry about Finding Dory.
No one's angry about it, but no one loved it the way they.
What are you talking about?
Okay, Finding Dory did not reach the same level that maybe say Inside Out did, because Finding Dory always had to live up to Finding Nemo, whereas Inside Out was the original idea and everyone loved it and gravitated towards it. And I think after Good Dinosaur and everyone's kind of we want another good original Pixar movie, and Coco looks to be like that. It looks to be very much like Ratatouille or WALL-E or Up, just so daring that you never would have made this as a kid's movie normally.
I agree.
And it's visually beautiful. It's so colorful.
Yeah. I saw your posts. Yeah, I do see some of your stuff.
Oh, you do? You never comment.
I do
and
sometimes.
You never like.
I'll just
And you never like.
Shut up.
You never love either.
Oh my god. It's always so annoying.
It's always the angry face. Always the angry face.
You want me to say anything or not?
Go on and say something.
So, I saw your stupid post now about how people were comparing it to the Book of Life.
Yeah, Book of Life.
And how this was infuriating you.
Okay, just it's a weird like surface level comparison. It's like, okay.
Because of like Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah, like they both deal with that, but it's almost like if you were to say you look at both, you know, if you were to look at say Spider-Man Homecoming and Lego Batman, they both have superheroes. It's like, are they really that much alike?
Yeah.
Or is Deadpool really that much like Doctor Strange just because they both involve superheroes? Or even a more apt comparison, if you want to go with like super similarities, Star Trek and Star Wars. You know, they just because they have the name Star in it, like, you know, they deal with the same holiday, but they obviously will be dealing with two very different like plots and characters and whatnot.
I think the reason I'm not super crazy about it is because
You have no sense of joy.
Because it deals with Dia de los Muertos, which I'm not too connected with. I feel like that is a very Mexican holiday. Like, you have to be born and raised in Mexico to really fully culturally understand it. And I wasn't. So I'm not so connected. I'm sure I'm going to watch this movie. I'm going to find a bunch of, like, jokes that are just for my demographic and, like, love it and everything. But I'm just not super excited because I don't have that exact connection with it. But I would love to see another movie that had Latino characters that wasn't so connected with Dia de los Muertos. I feel like you think of a Latino story and Dia de los Muertos is always like number one. And it's, I don't know, I just want to see something different.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So, I mean, I am excited for it. I will see it, and I will support it. But I just want maybe some other kinds of different stories.
I can definitely understand that.
So, yeah.
So, Coco arrives in theaters on November 22nd, right around Thanksgiving holiday season. And we're moving on to the final trailer, which was the big one, dropped Saturday after we did our show at the Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards. A little pissed it wasn't for International Women's Day, but still, it was Wonder Woman!
Oh my gosh, you're gonna, like, break the microphone.
Yeah, because that's how awesome it is. Okay. I saw the trailer when I went to go see Beauty and the Beast on the big screen, and I couldn't help but like cheer at the end of it.
Really? You weren't like offended by the feminist agenda?
I was so like, how dare they ruin Wonder Woman?
Kids' Choice Award.
I know. How dare they try to push a message? But oh my god, just Wonder Woman was so. What did you? Let's go into your thoughts first. What did you think of the Wonder Woman trailer?
I just saw it. Like, actually no, I did see it when it came out, but I forgot all about it. But then I rewatched it like 20 minutes ago. It's cool. I like it. I don't know too much about Wonder Woman, like the comic book in general. So just kind of seeing the story that she has with her other friends.
Amazons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting, and I don't know. What did you think?
I loved it, and I think it's because this is the best trailer to like show to anybody, because like you said, you don't know that much about Wonder Woman, but this is a good one to basically setting up to a general audience who she is, what she is, her origin. Now pretty much everybody knows who Wonder Woman is, and now you can pretty much go in and expect, you know, a good movie. And I think as a good superhero origin story, that's what it should do, because I've said before, it's nonsense that we've had 11 Batman movies and 9 Superman movies, but not one Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah. And
the fact that we're getting her origin story so late is upsetting, but they're doing it, and it looks like they're doing it right.
Yeah.
I trust Patty Jenkins. The movie looks gorgeous, like visually beautiful. I love the difference between Themyscira and World War I London. And, okay, we're going to go into some fan theory moment here, because my Infinity Stone one apparently actually did pretty well. So, fan moment, exactly, fan theory. You can classify this as spoilers if you want, so if you're thinking it's a spoiler, you know what, suck it up. You can deal with it. Anyway, because it's all speculation at this point. It's not
just
a spoiler.
spit it out!
I think, okay, so the trailer hints at Wonder Woman being something more. She's, like, obviously, they're keeping a mystery from her.
Okay.
And in the original comic, she was molded by clay. She's basically a clay creature come to life and granted by the gods.
By a weird fetish man.
Well, that's background stuff. But essentially, in the comics, like, you know, Wonder Woman is the only child on Themyscira, because all the Amazons, they never age, so they never, you know, there are no children on there. And one of the women wants children so bad, so she asked the gods to give her one that she forms out of clay.
Okay.
And that was her thing for a while. But it was so weird that some people had a hard time connecting to that. Out of all the things in the DC universe, that's the weird thing they attached to. So they later retconned it to be that She was the daughter of Zeus.
Is it because it's like kind of biblical? Is that why?
I don't think it's kind of biblical. I just think that's like, for some reason in a universe where people can move at the speed of light and aliens can come from another planet, the idea of someone being molded from clay is weird.
Okay.
But they made Zeus her father in the comics. And that has, that's a reason we can get into that. Those are reasons why that's problematic. Zeus, like the Greek god of thunder, the king of Olympus, is her father.
But in actual Greek mythology, that's not anywhere.
No.
He doesn't have a daughter that's Wonder Woman.
No. But I'm thinking for the movie, they're going to change it to where she is the daughter of a god, but not Zeus. She is the daughter of Ares, the god of war, who is rumored to be the main villain of the movie, who might be played by Harry Potter's David Thewlis. And the reason I think this is because how thematically perfect is it to have Wonder Woman, a champion of peace, be the daughter of the god of war, that she fights war by choosing peace and love. And also, it creates a new Darth Vader dynamic for, Luke and Darth Vader dynamic between Wonder Woman and Ares, that her arch nemesis is her father. Is that weird that they tie her origin to a man? Yes, it is, and it's weirdly problematic, but we'll get to that when the movie comes out, if this does happen. All fan theory moment, but if I'm right...
Why is that weird?
Just because Wonder Woman's, her entire origin is like... It feels weird to have her in service of a man's agenda. Like, the entire thing was that, she was made by women, completely women. There are no male connections to her. So it does feel weird to, give her this weird part. Also, DC obviously has a weird thing with their superheroes and their parents, Superman and Batman have the same mom with the same name, So Wonder Woman's gonna have that dad moment that
Are they gonna explain the whip and the chain?
The lasso, yeah. Well, the lasso they'll explain. I can tell you that, but they'll explain probably the lasso, where that the power is behind that, the lasso of truth, where that comes from. Those are basically gifts from the gods. The Greek gods have given those to the people of Themyscira.
Okay.
And Wonder Woman takes them with her. But anyway, guys.
A little less fetishy.
We'll get around. Basically, obviously, she saw Lasso of Truth. But anyway.
Great play.
Great play, by the way, guys. It was really great. Shout out to ASU and all the students who put that on. But anyway, that's the coverage of the Wonder Woman trailer. I love it. I can't wait. June 2nd. I'm so pumped. Easily my most anticipated film of summer of the summer.
Okay.
All right.
So now we're done with trailers. Moving on to some news. First thing, Girl in the Spiderweb, the reboot maybe of Girl.
Reboot sequel.
Yeah, of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah.
So, what did you think?
I don't think you can call it a reboot. I mean, it's a sequel.
We're having an argument about this.
Yeah, you're just recasting the movie. Is
that a reboot or
no,
not?
A reboot
Let
is
us know.
A reboot is defined as changing continuity. So if you're not following the same continuity...
The continuity is the actors.
No, but the main storyline... Because look, James Bond has, we had 5 different actors before we decided to reboot that franchise. All those movies are still connected. Or Batman in the 80s. We had 3 actors go through Batman... And Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin are all one series.
I would agree with you. It's not a reboot if you take one character and you switch it. Like, if we were to take the Avengers and for some reason we would switch out Robert Downey Jr. with, I don't know.
Keanu Reeves.
Okay. That would not be a reboot because all the other characters would be the same. The continuity of the story would be the same. But if you take everyone and then switch them with new people... that's a reboot.
No, that's a sequel, because a reboot implies that you're changing the continuity.
No, but that's still Iron Man, and that's still Captain America, and that's still, Black Widow, but they're new characters, and they're new actors, and they're all different.
It's just, I don't think, because again, a reboot, because a sequel, you have to maintain the same continuity, and I think it's counterproductive. You can't be a sequel and a reboot, unless you deal with time travel, like Star Trek or X-Men Days of Future Past, because... You're either a sequel, which means you're following continuity, or you're a reboot, which means you're discarding continuity. And I think, from what I understand, it's a sequel, because she doesn't agree with me.
It's whatever.
Well, Fede Alvarez, who did Evil Dead and Don't Breathe, is taking over for David Fincher as director. And obviously we're going to get a new, Elizabeth, so the rumor is that it's Natalie Portman and Scarlett Johansson are in the lead. To replace Rooney Mara. Who will replace Daniel Craig? We don't know. Liev Schreiber, if you're hearing me, go for it. But I don't know. I mean, it's been a long time since the first film came out. It has been...
Yeah.
It's been 6 years.
Yeah, I would say.
And they have it set for October 5th of 2018. So by the time it'll come out, it'll have been 7 years since the first film came out.
I honestly did not see the first one. I watched the first scene, and I was like... I don't think I was in the mood. I don't think I was in the mental zone for it. And then I was just like, this is not the right time to watch this movie.
I love the first movie, and I cannot believe, I honestly never thought we'd get any more of these movies because it didn't really do well at the box office. It didn't do well, like, they thought it was going to be a big Oscar movie, but it didn't end up being that, so the fact that we're getting a sequel in general is pretty good, so I'm excited. And then speaking of which, moving on, because October 5th seems to have been like a lightning rod date, because October 5th was also supposed to be the day Aquaman hit theaters. Not anymore. October 5th of 2018, Aquaman has been pushed back to December 21st, 2018, so it will now be a Christmas movie.
Okay. Not quite.
Why is Aquaman a Christmas movie, guys? You don't think to release a movie that deals with a hero that probably will be dealing with tropical weather, a lot of beaches and water and hot summer days. You don't think that maybe, just maybe, this should be a summer movie?
Hey, this could be a Christmas movie in 5 years when global warming really starts to hit.
Okay, maybe then.
And all the ice has melted.
Maybe then. But it's like it's like if they released Frozen in July. It's like, part of the appeal of, the visualness of the movie makes you think. So
I mean, I don't think they chose. I mean, obviously they didn't choose to release it 2 months later. That was obviously a pushback.
Well, they technically chose.
Well, yeah, I guess, but like, I don't think it was their number one choice.
Maybe it was. They could have. Well, then they should have pushed it back to 2019 then for a summer release date, because that's the other thing is we found out right before the show broke is that DC is so desperate for another movie in 2018 because they only have Aquaman. They already lost Flash and they lost the Batman because of reasons. So those are movies aren't going to make it 2018. So they either want to get Green Lantern Corps, Suicide Squad 2, Gotham City Sirens, or Dark Universe out in time for 2018.
Yeah.
It's like, DC, why are you rushing those movies? You don't want to rush Aquaman to summer? Or why are we even rushing movies? Or why are we not pushing back movies? Or why don't you... I need a drink.
You should work for them. Give them all these great advice.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad because it's like, I do love DC, and I do think, I like the idea of them pushing back Batman because I thought, okay, they're learning from their mistakes. We don't have to rush this. We can take our time, which I applaud. But I don't applaud you rushing these other movies.
Well.
And then that obviously leads into the other discussion, is that October 5th, like literally an hour after Aquaman movie release date, an hour later, Sony's like, oh guys, we got a Venom movie coming out on October 8th, 2018, or October 5th, 2018, Spider-Man sequel, so.
This should be fun.
Why is there a Venom movie? Like, I like Venom, I don't want a movie with him.
Why not?
It's Spider-Man that looks like an alien,
Wasn't that Spider-Man 3?
Yeah, and it's like, there's not, contrary to what Venom fans think, there's not a lot to work with in the comics.
Hey, you never know, dude.
I know all.
Yeah, you do.
I'm a person on the internet with an opinion and a camera.
So, what do you know about Man of Steel?
Man of Steel?
Because you know so much. Tell us about the new director.
It's rumored at this point, Matthew Vaughn, who directed X-Men First Class and Kick-Ass, and Kingsman is in rumor to direct Man of Steel 2, which, if that's true, that's the best news ever. Like, I would be so happy. I'm almost don't want to believe it because it's too good to be true. It's like they don't make me that happy anymore.
With DC, he's not going to be the last. He'll pick someone new in 2 weeks. You're
right. They'll be like, oh, the contracts broke down. We're going to talk to someone else. We're going to get the guy that did. I don't know. I can't think of another one, but still. I love Matthew Vaughn. I love his use of color. I love his sense of use of action. He makes these really good... I don't think Matthew Vaughn's made a bad movie. I've loved everything he's made. He's only... the lowest movie on it, to me, that he's made is Layer Cake, and that's just really good. I love Stardust. I loved Kingsman. Loved Kick-Ass. And X-Men First Class is honestly one of my favorite X-Men movies. It's, in the top 3.
All right. Well, X-Men...
She has no opinion on that at all.
I don't.
Janet don't give no...
Okay. So, I was going to say X-Men does a couple spin-offs, but moving on to our Big Bang spin-off that I know you were just so excited for.
What do you have to say about it?
Well, for those that don't know, there was an announcement about Big Bang having a spin-off with Little Sheldon. Is that a prequel spin-off?
Yeah, it's gonna be a prequel spin-off.
Yeah, so our favorite character from The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon, is getting his own little spinoff as he looks like he's 12.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like a young Sheldon, and I think like the premise or the setup is that he is like it's a family show, so it's him dealing with his like really religious mom, his alcoholic dad, and his his older sister and brother.
I don't know.
Or twin sister and older brother, yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a interesting show, but just knowing that it was like a spinoff from The Big Bang Theory is kind of like, why? Like, what was going through the heads of the creator that made this?
That's what I was wondering, because I wanted the record to show that I don't hate Big Bang Theory. I actually kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
I know it's really cool to hate Big Bang Theory because it's the most popular comedy show on right now. And it's fine. It doesn't like offend me at all. Like, people like nerds that
You're
get...
not offended?
No, because nerds that get really offended by it, I was like, come on, guys, it's fine. It's nothing really harmful to us. And I don't know. It's like, it's not a show that I religiously watch, but when it's on, it's like I watch and I get a good laugh. But I think this idea for a spinoff is awful.
Yeah. I don't know how many of the original Big Bang Theory fans are going to be carried on to the spinoff. I think maybe it's trying to build a new audience.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't feel like, like you're not going to go and like, yes, 12-year-old Sheldon.
Baby Sheldon. Because I got to wonder because, okay, Sheldon is the breakout character of Big Bang Theory. Like, he's the best part.
Yeah.
But part of what makes him the best part is Jim Parsons playing him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be weird with another kid, with someone else playing him and like a little kid.
Yeah.
And it's like, part of the fun of Sheldon is how he interacts with the other characters. And it's like with his family, that's an interesting dynamic, but I don't know, it just seems like a bad move. And also, like, what? I don't know, it just seems like why? Has a spinoff like this ever really worked?
I don't know of any spinoff that's made a little baby version of...
Muppet Babies?
Is that real?
You don't know Muppet Babies?
No, I don't know Muppet Babies.
What? They have a new show coming out. They have a new little kid.
I'm sorry, I'm not devoted to the Muppet life like you.
I didn't choose the Muppet life. The Muppet life chose me.
Okay, moving on.
Speaking of which, Jim Parsons played a Muppet in one of the Muppet movies. So.
Okay, moving on. The Matrix reboot. Let's talk about that.
That's a big one.
That was interesting. I love The Matrix. I think The Matrix were great. Obviously, the first film was fantastic.
I have a question. Do you only like the first one? Like, do you like the first one, or do you actually like the second one?
I like the second one.
Really?
I like the whole universe, the whole,
Really?
Yeah.
Let's say this is a first, ladies and gentlemen. You can put this in the title description. First person to ever like the Matrix sequels.
I liked it. I think, I would continuously watch them if there were more movies. And so this reboot idea, sparked something. But it's also, I don't know. I feel like a lot of, I don't want to say, I don't know. I don't know what to call people that are, purist of the certain original movie. Maybe you just call them purists.
Yeah,
whatever.
I think purist is the right word.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm that, but...
You're a fan.
I'm a fan, and I feel like maybe this new reboot might mess it up. Or, might... kind of like how people thought of Ghostbusters being rebooted, whatever.
Yeah.
But it also makes me a little excited because Michael B. Jordan, you said, was gonna play...
Well, not play, but he's the one the studio wants.
Okay, so he might play.
He might be the one.
He might be the one. And... I mean, that's exciting. He's a great actor. And to bring, a loved franchise back for a new audience, a younger audience, I like that idea. But whether or not they're going to succeed, I don't know.
See, I don't know. It's I honestly don't care because, okay, I like The Matrix. I like The Matrix a lot. I don't like the second one. I don't like the third one. So it's is this really a franchise or is this just one movie?
Michael B. Jordan doesn't
really
have the best luck with rebooting things.
He doesn't.
So Fantastic Four.
But, Fantastic Four. But, it wasn't a reboot, but was a sequel. Creed. Which, it's funny, because now the reports, now the writer who they got to do the Matrix reboot or whatever, he's like, oh, it's not a reboot, it's a sequel. But it's he doesn't know what it is, because... Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it just feels like, okay, why do the Matrix?
Why not?
What story is there left to tell? What material is there? It's not like... Okay, Ghostbusters makes sense as a reboot because, Ghostbusters 3 had been in development for a long time, and, there were still stories to tell in the Ghostbusters universe.
Don't act like...
But is there a story to tell with the Matrix?
Set universe.
The Matrix story was the story of the one, and that got resolved in the third movie. So it's like, what can you do? And I don't know, it just feels really odd to do again.
No.
Also,
in a universe, there are infinite amount of stories you could tell.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. Was like say something like Star Wars or Star Trek or something that like its entire franchise was built on its vast universe. But Matrix.
Matrix? Are you kidding me? Was not built on the freaking world, the actual Matrix.
But the Matrix was built on the idea.
It's all in your mind. It's like you can do anything.
Guys, we're in the Matrix right now, is what she's saying.
It's literally like. You could do anything.
But the entire story of the Matrix was the story of Neo and the One, and it just feels...
Yeah, I know, but that's why they're, whatever they want to call it, a sequel or a reboot, they're making a different one.
Like, you're the first person that's actually been optimistic I've talked to about the idea of a Matrix sequel, because I feel like everyone else is just, like, so offended or appalled at the idea. I'm not offended or appalled, I think it's kind of dumb.
I mean, like I said, I'm skeptical, I'm scared that they're going to ruin it, and whatever,
Look, they can't ruin it any more than the sequels did, so...
So... I don't know. I feel like there is some optimism there.
I would like... Here's where I think it bugs me a little bit, is... Okay, when The Matrix was released in 1999, it was an original script. It was an original idea. It was new. It was bold for Warner Brothers to do a movie like that. You know, big action movie, not based off anything. Original idea by these young filmmakers. And we're now jumping forward, 20 years later, and we're just rebooting it. And it's like, there are plenty of scripts like that.
You don't know if it's going to be the exact same story. It's going to be... Ugh, you're upsetting me. It could be something that's equally mind-blowing and different.
I honestly didn't think she was going to, be so on the defense of the Matrix reboot. Because she's the first person. That's where this video is going to blow up on the internet, is that you're the only person to defend.
It's like in 15 years if they want to reboot Inception. That world is so infinitely, they can create any story. Just because it doesn't have Leonardo DiCaprio's character in it and his dilemma does not mean they can't make another movie about it.
I feel like that one would be difficult too, because so much of that is tied in with reality.
Well, maybe you're just not as creative, Richard.
There's no doubt about that, Janet.
Oh yeah, I think
we've talked about the Matrix enough. What's the next story?
So the next thing is the Suicide Squad sequel. We're on terms now. Sequel, reboot, sequel. Has new writers.
It has a new writer, the guy that wrote Legend of Tarzan. Mm-hmm. So you got the writer of one of the worst films of summer 2016 writing the sequel to the other worst film of 2016. Might as well just get the director of Assassin's Creed to direct it, and then you'll have your own Suicide Squad of a team behind the movie. Pretty much get the worst of the worst to make this movie. I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
What are we, some kind of suicide
What are we, some
squad?
kind of suicide squad? It's funny, I didn't realize how much that comment became a thing on the internet.
Yeah.
Until you go, any trailer
They're
now.
the worst of the worst. See, they got, the writer of Tarzan.
The worst writer.
Yeah, so.
The worst, right now, the worst movie.
It feels.
Might as well bring on Michael Bay as
I
producer.
just want to say, I don't think Suicide Squad is the worst of the worst, okay?
That's it. Hold on.
David Ayer, I love you.
Yeah, you know what's funny, though? We rewatched it. And she admitted that it wasn't as good as she...
I admitted it wasn't as good as it was, because when I was watching it the first time, I was drunk, okay?
that's how you have to be for that movie to be any good.
But it was,
Obviously shows that she didn't ever
watch... We
watch...
watched the extended cut, and I didn't know why they put in those extra scenes. I was disappointed. But, whatever. It's not the worst movie ever.
Not the worst movie ever, but it was appalling nonetheless.
Okay. So, you're upset. You're not excited.
Tell me some news that'll make me excited or make me happy.
Let's see here. What do you think about Legion season 2?
Yay! That's pretty cool. Legion's been pretty bomb on FX.
Yay!
I'm really excited about that. Legion and Riverdale got renewed for second season. So, 2 shows based off of, comic books, very different comic books, got renewed. I'm loving Legion. I got to catch up. I'm 2 episodes behind. For reasons I'll explain later. Not good reasons.
Okay.
And then Riverdale, I've caught every episode.
That's old news. We talked about that last week.
Did we?
Riverdale?
Season 2?
Yeah.
Oh, we did. You're right.
Old news. Okay. And then Dunkirk was just released that they are PG-13.
Yes, that caused a lot of fury on the internet.
I guess it was because it's a war film and war films shouldn't be PG-13.
They shouldn't be, or they just haven't been for a while?
I don't understand the outcry. I feel like you and I think we feel the same way, where Christopher Nolan can do whatever he so pleases,
yeah.
And it is okay.
I trust Nolan. Even his weakest film, which is an Interstellar, is still pretty decent.
It's pretty amazing.
I'll let you believe that.
Oh my god. Okay, so let us know, because honestly, like, I am a fan of war films. I think they capture something that a lot of movies can't. And the characters that are often in these types of films are so three-dimensional and so, like, well thought out. And yeah, many times it's not PG-13, and for good reason.
Yeah.
And so, you know, whether or not Dunkirk is going to do the same thing, I think it will, because Christopher Nolan is amazing. You know, why not make it R-rated?
Yeah, I think, you know, war is, you know, a bloody, war is a very bloody thing. I think that's what a lot of people are thinking. But I would like to point out that something, everyone was like, you know, why not make an R-rated comic book movie? But you can make the same argument. Why not make a PG-13 war movie? If you can do one with one rating, it's not like it's rated G. I mean, you know, it's not like.
But I still don't think it's going to be meant for kids.
Yeah, like, well, you know, Nolan's pushed the boundaries of a PG-13 movie before. Dark Knight is pretty brutal.
You're right.
And, you know, that's PG-13. That's PG-13, and I'm still, you know, there would be kids I would be concerned about showing that too. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't kill the movie at all. There's nothing about this kills the movie. I still, you know, still got a good cast, good director. Interesting that it's a summer release. Doesn't feel like a summer movie, but I'm down.
Yeah, maybe.
And what's the next bit of news?
So I don't know what this is, but A Quiet Place was announced.
Yes,
Tell
Quiet
me more
Place.
about that.
This one we wanted to post because I thought it was interesting. Emily Blunt and John Krasinski, who are a married couple in married life, in real life, not married life, but in married life also. They're working together for the first time on a film called The Quiet Place. It's going to be a horror thriller for Michael Bay's Platinum Dunes production company. For those of you who don't know, John Krasinski was Jim on The Office and previously starred in Michael Bay's movie 13 Hours. And Krasinski's going to write, direct, and star along with his wife Emily Blunt. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Kind of noteworthy.
That's kind of weird, though. I don't picture the guy from The Office, Jim, directing a horror movie.
I kind of want to,
That just sounds weird.
I kind of want to picture, that he was actually in the running to play Captain America before Chris Evans got the job?
No.
Yeah, he was. And then apparently he saw Chris Hemsworth and he's like, I'm nowhere near that.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people can say the same thing about Chris Pratt from Parks and Rec.
Yeah, Guardian, yeah.
Yeah, he was just dorky
that would have been so funny if Krasinski had been Captain America.
Yeah, that's
what
weird.
A different world he would have been in. Well,
but we love now Chris Pratt as Guardian in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, so that transformation could have happened just to him as well.
Yeah, but Chris Evans is a great Captain America.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna be sad when he hangs up the shield because he's apparently gonna do that after the next Avengers movie.
Oh really?
Yeah. So hey, maybe Krasinski can be Captain America.
He couldn't hold on as long as Robert Downey Jr. did.
RDJ? Maybe he could have.
Or Logan. Really?
No one's gonna beat Logan. So I believe. The last bit of movie news we have, and this is a big one, guys. This deals with the legendary filmmaker Orson Welles. His last uncompleted film has been purchased. Basically, the rights to it have been purchased by Netflix. We're going to put up the last of the funding to get it on Netflix. And this is actually a big deal because, first of all, let's be real that we're all excited to see a film, the last uncompleted film by a legendary filmmaker. A lot of us never thought we'd see another Orson Welles movie again, so that prospect is exciting. But it ties in with our theme of our show is that part of the movie was filmed here in Phoenix. So
that's kind of cool.
That's so cool.
So once they finish it up, do you think? Well, while they finish it up, do you think they will come back to Phoenix and maybe film some more scenes here?
I think the film was already finished filming. I just don't think it was finished in the editing process.
Oh, okay.
They never really said what was wrong with it. Just that obviously the film was not finished after Orson Welles passed away.
See, that's weird. That's where I get a little concerned because how a lot of artists that end up passing away, the label will release songs or albums after the fact while they were in the process of recording. And I feel like a lot of fans love it, but I feel like maybe it's mostly a money grab.
Oh, it's definitely a money grab, but also, Netflix. It's hard to just call it a money grab because of the way Netflix receives money.
Right.
Subscription based.
Yeah.
But also, it's I think this is something that they've wanted to do for a long time. Frank Marshall is one of the producers, and so is Peter Bogdanovich. They've tried really hard to get this off the ground for years. and they've just never had the
It's
funding.
like a passion project for them.
Yeah, so.
I guess it's different for movies versus like releasing a song or.
Well, for movies,
album.
it's actually
That's
it's still
weird.
shameless, but.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like kind of like what they did with oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? In Fast and the Furious.
Oh, Paul Walker.
Yeah, like I don't know. I just there's some ethical questions when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. I don't think any of us want to get into the ethics conversation. Me and Jen have already gotten into some weird conversations on this episode just about the Matrix and about the concept of a reboot versus a sequel.
Yeah. So, do you want to move on?
Yeah, I think that's all we have as far as mainstream. Oh yeah, I guess there's one last bit of news that dropped. Superman's Henry Cavill will be in Mission Impossible 6, so that cast just got 100 times more handsome. Because you seriously cast him in anything, and you got my interest.
Okay.
Everybody likes Henry Cavill. Look at him. There's a reason he's Superman.
Sure. Yeah. Definitely. I agree. And Mission Impossible. I'm just over it.
You're old.
I feel like how many movies have they made already?
Well, this will be their 6th one. That's why I said Mission
I feel like
Impossible
they've
6.
made like 10 or 12. Like I'm just over it.
I think you're confusing it with Fast and the Furious.
Both of them. I'm over both of them.
But the Matrix, you're not over.
No, because what are you talking about?
You're not over the Matrix, but everybody else was over the Matrix as far back as 2003.
Oh my God, that is not even a legitimate comparison, but whatever.
Anyway.
Moving on to movie reviews, guys.
Yeah, guys, we got Kong Skull Island. Jan saw Logan finally, and we got Beauty and the Beast. So we're gonna start with which one do we want to start with?
Let's do Kong.
Iron Fist.
Kong. Oh, we also have Iron Fist also. Ooh, I kind of want to talk about Iron Fist really
Okay.
quick. You know what? Okay, guys.
Go.
So
Yeah, 20 seconds.
I saw the first 6 episodes of this show. I watched it started right at midnight, and I've seen 6 episodes since the start of this show. And this is without a doubt the worst thing to come out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is the worst superhero show or show based off a comic book currently on the air, and that's saying something because Gotham is still running. And oh my God, it's so boring.
But it's still better than everything DC has ever put out.
No. DC television is killing it. And it's essentially like they took the pilot of Arrow and for some reason decided to stretch it into 13 episodes. After 6 episodes, I was like, I'm bored. And it's like, I shouldn't be bored. It's slowly paced. The acting is wooden. No one
It's wooden.
Yeah, it's like everyone's just like, okay, like this. And I'm just like, I don't care. I want to see Kung Fu, and for some reason you're giving me some boardroom meetings and whatnot. It's like, I'm fine with doing different genres and experimenting, but it's like, make it good at least. And Iron Fist is not good. It is problematic. It's not entertaining. And most of all, it's just boring, guys. You've taken what could have, I honestly don't know what happened.
So it's not getting a new season. That's what
I hope it doesn't. I hope if we have to continue with Iron Fist, make him a supporting character on Luke Cage, make him a defender, just do something different with him. Because obviously there are only 3 characters that stand out. Colleen Wigg, I think her name is Jessica Hendricks as Colleen Wigg, Rosario Dawson reprising her role from Daredevil, and Carrie-Anne Moss reprising her role from Jessica Jones. So 2 of the 3 best parts of this show are from other Netflix Marvel shows. I was like watching it out of obligation, and I'm just done. I'm like gonna set it away. I should have watched Love Season 2 instead.
Okay. And I definitely want to watch that. Love, not.
Yeah, not Iron Fist.
So, I'll interject between your 3 movie reviews. And I'll just talk about Logan real quick.
Let's talk about a good superhero thing.
Yeah! Oh my God, I was blown away by it. I saw it, so I always end up seeing movies right after we film. So, like, tonight I'm going to see Beauty and the Beast when he already saw it. So,
She has a life
I'll be
I
like
don't.
a week behind on everything. I'll try not to do that. Oh, we didn't talk about Car Dogs. We're going to see it this Monday, maybe, and then review it, talk about it at least next show. But, Logan. So, I know you reviewed it last week. And you said that you loved it, and you were crying. Like, you actually teared up during...
I did. I had to have my jacket to, like, wipe away my tears. My Wolverine jacket, also.
It was so good. I'm so happy that it was made the way it was made. And, I'll go ahead and say that when the movie started and he was like an Uber driver, I was like a little thrown off by that, and how his like car was being like broken apart by all of these Mexican criminals. I was like a little offended by it, but then I realized that most of the movie took place in Mexico, and I was like, okay, I guess you need some bad guys.
And the also great political subtext of most of the characters being immigrants from Mexico trying to escape this weird border
Going
control.
up to Canada.
Yeah, this weird robotic border control people.
Yeah, it was interesting. I honestly gotta say though that I did not like X-23's voice.
What?
Her voice was weird. I wish she just stayed silent for most of the movie. I hope it's not a spoiler that she talks.
Technically it kind of is, but it's been 3 weeks. If you haven't seen Logan, what's wrong with the world?
But yeah, it was good. I'm so glad that they did it the way they did it, because it's a story of Logan, and they don't really refer to him as Wolverine. He's Logan this time. Like, he's him.
He'll always be Wolverine.
Yeah, but like they kind of stripped that like part off of him and made him a human being with like emotions. Although, you know, that's kind of in the other movies. They like it. He's not Wolverine unless they're referring to him in the comic books, or someone's like, "Oh my God, that's you." But it's just, he's so sweet and he has so many emotions. And there's a dinner scene, and I just loved it.
Oh, that scene broke my heart.
That scene broke my heart too. And they're just, you know, they're all just coming together and like accepting life, and just, it was so sweet. It almost made me cry at the end, but I didn't.
Lie, she cried. She totally cried.
No, but it was good. And the one thing that did upset me though was, so at the end, of course, there's a fight scene. There's always a fight scene. And all the little kids, is this a spoiler?
Kind of, but it's, you know, it's been...
I won't say details, but they're fighting, you know, because they're trying to run away from these people. They're trying to catch them and put them back into their little experiment house. And these guys have so many amazing superpowers, and they don't really use them. And the only time they use them is to torture this one dude, while everybody else is, like, well, not everybody. Everybody else is torturing this dude while Logan is, like, being killed. Sorry, spoiler.
If you haven't, I was waiting for somebody to say something. But if you haven't seen Logan, though, you probably should go see it. And
well, he's being beaten up. That's what rephrase. And it just upset me how, like, they have so many amazing powers and they're not even doing anything to help him.
I was okay with that because I was like, they're kids, you know. Maybe they don't want to fight. Maybe they don't want to use their powers, you know. Maybe they're scared of using them. I don't know. They're kids.
But yeah, that's my final thoughts on it.
Where would you rank it among like the other X-Men films, like all the other ones you've seen?
It's definitely like top 3.
Top 3?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Was it like your number 1?
I think it's so close to being number 1. I think X-Men 2 is still my number 1 just because like that's the most like X-Men-ish movie. But like this is like the most like this, you know, so complete and so.
Has the most heart.
I cried. I'm crying just thinking about it right now.
Oh my God.
I want to go see it again. I've already seen it 3 times. So that's you for Logan?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I got reviews for Kong Skull Island and Beauty and the Beast. We'll start out with Kong because we're going to make it short. Didn't really like it. It's all right.
You went in it with a closed mind.
No, because I honestly went in excited. I was like, you know, the night it came out, I was like, oh, let's go see Kong. You know, I kind of want to see him.
No, you didn't. You were like, oh, I have to go see Kong.
Yeah, but no, because like the night of, I was like, all right, you know, kind of want to see it. You know, big monster movie. I didn't want to go see something new. It's, you know, it's kind of fun.
Such a liar.
And I like went in. And I was like, okay, the beginning of the movie kind of had my interest. You know, I liked where they were going. It was just like, it was okay. It's like meh. That's the best word I have for it. It made me feel nothing. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I didn't like it. I didn't disdain it. It
wasn't a bad movie, though.
It exists, and I didn't think about it afterwards. It was disposable. It was the equivalent of, you know, getting some Cheez-Its at the gas station. You know, I ate it. I, you know, maybe had a moment with it, and it was kind of tasty, but I don't know. It's hard to compare it, though, because it's like, okay, do I compare it to Godzilla? Do I compare it to the original King Kong? Or do I compare it to the 2005 one? What do I do?
Why do you always have to compare movies to other movies?
Because they don't exist in a vacuum, and they do sort of affect one another. Because obviously this movie has a big inferiority complex about Godzilla, because they're like, all right, we got to fix all the problems people have with Godzilla, so we're going to show the monster right away. You know, we're going to have a lot of action. and the action isn't that good. It's not really fun. The Kong parts are really not that interesting. They've taken the best part of it, the most interesting part about Kong, which is in his story's DNA, is the Beauty and the Beast story, and just stripped it out. They've just made a generic monster movie with a big gorilla. And you have really good actors wasted. They're just their actor persona. I can't tell you a single character's name. I just remember that's Tom Hiddleston. That's Brie Larson, who are completely wasted. That's John Goodman, who sort of is all right. That's Samuel Jackson, who's probably the only fun one because he's the only one that makes sense. John C. Reilly, who's just in there for comedic effect. He's funny, but I don't know, dude. We need him. And yeah, it just didn't do anything for me. Also, because after how good the 2005 King Kong was, this just feels like a really big step down. Okay. You should go see it so you could not be so behind.
I will go see it.
So there's that, and then there is the big one for the week, guys. Beauty and the Beast. You guys don't need to see my review, but you're gonna go see it no matter what I say. So, do I have to review Beauty and the Beast, guys? I do. Oh, okay, fine. It's good. It's really good. I loved it. I really did. I love the original Beauty and the Beast, and this one is like seeing. You know how when you go to Disneyland and they have like the stage shows of the movies, like Aladdin, and now they have Frozen. This is like that. It's like watching a giant one of those. It's big. It's colorful. It's magical. Part of the fun is like seeing it come to life. Yeah, it's over the top. The dance numbers are sometimes extended, but that's part of the fun. I've never had a movie remind me so much of Disneyland since like the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, which is like almost like 15 years ago now, almost 14 years ago. So, Emma Watson is great as Belle. Dan Stevens is alright as the Beast. I don't give him much to do, even though he technically has more screen time in the movie. I think it's just the design or like the way he's like rendered. He doesn't look as beastly as I wanted him to be.
Yeah.
Luke Evans though as Gaston. Oh my God, he might not be as big as Gaston, but I like that they didn't make him like a big like in the original Gaston's kind of like a bumbling idiot. Here he's kind of just like an evil dick.
He's like an evil dick in the.
But he becomes more of an evil dick. Like, and he basically in this one he starts out evil and he pretty much just stays evil. Yeah. But yeah, Gaston, he was so good, and I liked all of the appliances. I was a little sad that
the appliances.
Well, the
microwave.
Yeah, the microwave. But like the only one I was kind of sad about was Ian McKellen as Cogsworth. It feels like he doesn't have as much to do in the movie as the original Cogsworth did, and Cogsworth's like one of my favorites. But that's more than made up for by my boy Ewan McGregor as Lumiere. Because, okay, it was going to be almost impossible for anyone to, be our guest. That was like an impossible task. That was a thankless task. That's like following Heath Ledger as the Joker. It's like, or Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. You just don't do it. Why would you do it? Why would you commit yourself to that scrutiny? And he did it, and oh my God, that's the best scene in the movie. It was like, the movie's so ballsy in its confidence that you're going to love that scene. It cuts to black for like 5 seconds to give you time to applaud that sequence. And I did, because it's that good. And then Emma Thompson's Beauty, when she sings Beauty and the Beast, I was like, I'm not crying. But yeah, I mean, it's not better than the original by any definition, but it enhances the experience of the original. It's like it's like a nice reminder of, it's a love letter to it, of why you loved it and all that. And yeah, I would say, you're going to go see it no matter what. It's projected for a big opening weekend. And I think our show's probably run later than we expected. Oh, it is run almost an hour, guys. So pretty much that is wrapping it up for the day. Go see Beauty and the Beast. Don't go see Kong. Go see Logan again if you haven't.
All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook as Within the Frame. Where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RLFink94. And where can they find you?
You guys can find me on YouTube at My Road to Hollywood.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Staying Within the Frame. We'll see you next week. Happy St. Patrick's Day.